Hi, we're going to be discussing expressive language therapy, and I've created an activity that targets the adult population. It helps if the adult has been in therapy for quite some time and is building their expressive language skills. This activity would not be recommended for someone who is beginning therapy and still struggling with basic concepts in terms of creating expressive thoughts and sentences. The activity, the best seating arrangement for that activity, I'm going to choose to do side-by-side seating activity. I feel confident that since I'm working with an adult, that this is not going to be a problem in terms of distractions, and that it will give us the proximity needed for therapy while still giving us enough space to maintain privacy should we need it for the activity. I would like to say that the objective for the activity is to, using prior knowledge, help the adult to create expressive sentences back and forth within a conversational exchange. So we'd like to focus on increasing fluency in terms of expressive exchanges, as well as increasing the actual number of expressive sentences and exchanges that we have within an interaction. The activity is called The Vacation, and we'll be using a road atlas with the adult to pinpoint different destinations within the United States that they'd be interested in vacationing. The activity is going to be focused around answering questions about what they might see, when they might go, how long it'll take to get there, what they'll wear when they get there. The idea is just to elicit expressive sentences from the adult with each question that I ask. Now, I will demonstrate how this activity will be done for the adult before we begin. I will show them myself opening the atlas and choosing a destination. I have chosen Texas. I will tell my student, I will tell my student that I'm going to give them 3 sentences that pertain to the state of Texas. And I will say, Texas takes the longest amount of time to drive across of any state in the United States. And that's a sentence that I'm creating based on my prior knowledge of driving across the state of Texas. Someone else might say, Texas is known as the state not to mess with. But whatever the case, they're going to be coming up with expressive sentences that relate back to this place where they will be vacationing, Texas. So if the adult were to need prompting or need help, if they were struggling with this activity, we could phrase the way that it works a little bit differently. So instead of relying on the student or the adult to provide the questions, I might ask a question first. For instance, what type of activities might you do in the state of Texas at this time of the year? Or I might say, what would the weather be like in Texas at this time of year? And their responsibility would be to answer back with an expressive sentence, something like, the weather in Texas this time of year is typically chilly. It's necessary to wear a sweater at this time of year, if I were to ask them what they needed to wear. So what you're trying to do is just to get them to be able to pull different words that describe what is needed for different situations and different circumstances. If you wanted to make this more difficult, you could actually turn it into a game where it's kind of a competitive situation between your adult student and you. Instead of revealing the state, the student might keep the information to themselves, and they're relying on their knowledge of the state and their vacation destination to give you sentences that are going to help you to determine what state they'll be vacationing in. So, for instance, if they say this is the state that Abraham Lincoln was born in, or Abraham Lincoln was born in this state, then I would guess that perhaps they were vacationing in the state of Illinois. Or they might say, I will be visiting the Sears Tower while I'm on vacation. And again, that lets me know, the Willis Tower, that lets me know that they'll be in the city of Chicago in the state of Illinois for their vacation. So that way, when you make it so that you're not exchanging information more like a conversation and make it more like a challenge, it makes them rely on creating more expressive and more complicated sentences for you to guess their destination. This is, again, a great activity for adults, and I hope that you will have a lot of success in implementing it. Thank you.